If Alabama loses to Vanderbilt, I'm putting this on record right now, I'll do whatever the top like comment on this video says. It can be anything. I'm talking about anything. I'll do it because there's no way, not a single shot, chance, what do you want to call it, that Alabama loses to Vandy. I ain't gonna hold y'all. I was debating on whether or not to even do a preview video this week due to the reason we don't have a lot of great games or really any great games at all. I hope this puts it into perspective. College game day is going to Miami and California. No disrespect to those two teams, but you see where I'm getting at. Not the greatest weekend in college football history, I think that's more than safe to say. However, there are a few games I'm looking forward to. And I really don't even want to call it a preview video because we're not going to talk a lot about these games. It's more so of, I'm going to give you my predictions. But we are going to talk a little bit about them, so you could label it as a preview. But you get the point, Matt. Just shut the crap up and get into it, sorry. We do got two games on Friday night. Could be close. You never know with Oregon. We saw them. They were struggling with the fighting potato wedges. They got Michigan State. The good news is for Oregon, Michigan State sucks. They should handle that one. Also got Syracuse and UNLV. Nobody cares about that game whatsoever. Heading into Saturday, though, at 11 a.m., we got a top 25 SEC matchup, and this is going to affect the standings. We got number 25 Texas A&M versus number 9 Missouri. And as where it stands, it shocks me quite a bit. A&M is favored by 2.5 points. And when I say it shocks me, it's not like a big shock, but a small shock. I don't know why. I just kind of assumed Missouri was going to be the favorite, but I guess not. The more I think about it, though, the more I understand it because they struggled with Vandy. With all due respect, it's Vandy. On the flip side for A&M, they haven't looked great. They struggle with Bowling Green, but they're sitting at 4-1, their lone loss being at Notre Dame. But what concerns me the most with A&M is your quarterback situation. I guess they're going to go with the true freshman, Marcel Reed. And yeah, he's a fantastic scrambler. We've seen that on full display, but can he beat a team passing the ball? I don't know. And maybe with just his scrambling ability alone, it might be good enough to beat Missouri. I tell you this much, Missouri has been one of the least impressive teams in the top 15. But in a game like this, in which I think is going to be close, I got to go with the team that has the better quarterback, and that's Missouri. I think Brady Cook and Missouri, they turn it on in this game, and they win by, I'm going to say 10 points. Give me Mizzou. At 2:30, we got the, can't believe I'm saying this, CBS game of the week. Remember, SEC no longer CBS, it's the Big Ten. We got the little bro, Ohio State, and the Iowa Hawkeyes. I'm not going to sit up here and try to even act like this is going to be a game because it's not going to be. Iowa, well, how do I say this nicely? They're not very good, and that's nice. I don't take Iowa serious. They can't score points, and their defense isn't that good. The only reason people think their defense is good is because offense sucks. There's a huge misconception there. I expect Ohio State to hang up a 40-burger on them and win this game by 20-plus points. Give me the Buckeyes. Also at 2:30, I am looking forward to this game like I am every single year. It's one of my favorite games of the year. We got the Auburn Tigers versus the Georgia Bulldogs. Whew, man, oh man, I would hate to be an Auburn fan. This is a shipwreck. Your team sucks. Your head coach ain't that good. Quarterback situation's awful. And now you're playing a team that is pissed off. To say this isn't looking good might be understating it. It is looking bad. And I mean bad, 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 bad. Georgia is a 22. Let me repeat that. 22-point favorite. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. For those of you who don't know, this is a rival matchup. This is a rival game. Auburn's known for playing Georgia close. And let me remind some of y'all, they played them close last year and had a good opportunity of winning the game. But this time, I just don't see it because this Auburn team is beyond dysfunctional. And this is a really great, yes, right, I said great Georgia team. That's mad. I would be baffled if Auburn kept this one in 10 points. That would impress me. If you're an Auburn fan, I know you don't like moral victories, but if you can keep this within 17, that is a moral victory. I would say good luck to Auburn, but I don't even know if that's going to help you. Give me Georgia in that one. I think they win by 20 or more points. Also at 2:30, we got Ole Miss and South Kakalaki. This is also a fascinating matchup because, remember, Ole Miss just lost to Kentucky, and I know what you're sitting there saying, Matt, I know, but listen to this. South Carolina beat Kentucky by 25 points. So if you want to play that silly game, some people say, well, since Kentucky beat Ole Miss and South Carolina beat Kentucky, that means South Carolina's going to win this game. Obviously, anybody with any knowledge to the slightest knows you can't do that. But on a serious note, there's no argument. This is going to be Ole Miss's toughest test up until this point. Crazy to say because they've already lost a game against Kentucky, but South Carolina, it's not even like, oh, they ain't bad. No, they're somewhat legit. I don't want to say South Carolina's a good team quite just yet because I want to see a little bit more out of them. Let me remind you as well, if it wasn't for a couple of, let's just call it what it is, bad calls in an LSU game, South Carolina would be 4-0 and range inside the top 25. I know what South Carolina's about. I just don't know what Ole Miss is about. But yet again, I also go back to this. Kentucky is much better than what people give them credit for. As of where it stands right now, Ole Miss is currently a 9-point favorite, and I would say that's about right. There's no way I'm picking South Carolina to win this game. I think the Lane Train and Jackson Dart, they get back on track and they win this one. If you do want a number, give me Ole Miss by, I think it's going to be close. They win by 7. At 6 p.m., I'm going to talk about this for about 30 seconds. We got the Ooga Badoogie. Oh, wait a minute. Ooga Badoogie ain't starting. Forgot he had the injury. So we got Brock Glenn. Oh, I feel bad for Florida State fans. I can't believe I'm even saying that. But anyways, we got Brock Glenn playing Clemson. Here's my question. It's the reason I bring this game up. How bad do you think it's going to be? Because Florida State has no shot of winning. I'm going to say Clemson wins this one by... let's go. I don't think it's going to be as bad as some people may think. I'll say Clemson wins by 17. Give me the Tigers in that one. Shout out to Ed Ogeron, by the way. Go Tigers. At 6:30 p.m., we got Tennessee, the Volunteers with Nico Iamaleava, and Arkansas. Hey, man, Arkansas ain't bad. Now, are they good? Absolutely not, but I'd say, they're around an average team. I hate to play the if, and but game, but Arkansas really could be 5-0 right now. They're a couple plays away from being 5-0, and I feel like I say this every time I talk about them, I still can't believe they screwed up that Oklahoma State game. If you want to say they shouldn't have beat A&M, that's fine. I believe they lost that one 21-17. But the Oklahoma State one, they just threw that one in the garbage. They should have won. But I digress. Arkansas, they ain't bad. Tennessee is a 13.5-point favorite. I tell you right now, I wouldn't be surprised if Tennessee lost this game. I don't think they're going to lose the game. I'm picking Tennessee to win, but it wouldn't surprise me. I'm throwing it out there right now. And I know some of you sitting here saying, oh, Matt, well, you labeling this as a trap game? No, I'm not. Arkansas, they're decent. Tennessee has a young quarterback. There's a possibility they make some mistakes. Arkansas, they got Taylor Green. He's been pretty good at times, and there's a chance he plays out of his mind. But to pick Arkansas in this game, it's just not a smart pick. They're too up and down. Tennessee's more consistent. That front seven and those edge rushers, they're going to give Arkansas a hard time. Got to go with the team with more talent and just the overall better team. Give me Tennessee. 6:30 p.m. This one has caught my attention as we're doing this video. We got Michigan and Washington. Michigan, right? 10th ranked team in the nation, is an underdog. Washington is favored by 1.5 points. Not too sure why. Give me Michigan. I think Michigan is so good, even with the lack of the passing game, they can win a game just by running the football. I'll take Michigan in that one. And last but not least, we'll wrap up this video. We got the college game day game of the week. We got the U. And was that kind of cringy and corny? I hope not. But we got the U, Miami versus California. The California Golden Bears. I'm going to remind some of y'all, they went into Auburn's home stadium and beat them. But, and I have a big but, they also lost to Ooga Badoogie in the Cinnamon Rolls. Losing to the 2024 Cinnamon Rolls is about as low as it gets in life. You can't emphasize enough how bad of a loss it is, and it kind of discredits what they've done up until this point. However, with that being said, it is a home game, and Miami, we saw them last week, they struggled with Virginia Tech. And normally when you think of a team out west like USC, you think of, oh yeah, they got an outstanding offense, they're really flashy, and the defense is going to be okay at best. But with California, it's almost flip-flopped. The offense isn't too great, but the defense is. Their defense has been their saving grace all year long. Even in the Florida State game in which they lost, they only allowed 14 points. They just couldn't score. Although Miami's defense isn't spectacular, they're not atrocious, and I have a hard time believing California can score enough points to stay in this game. I think Miami wins this one easily. I'll take the Canes by 17 points. Will be interesting, though, to see how Cam Ward fares out against that defense. I'm sure he won't struggle, but hey, you never know. And I already know somebody sitting over saying, Matt, what about Alabama and Vanderbilt? You forgot about that game. That's the #1 team in the country. You're not going to talk about the Tide? What's going on, man? And no, I'm not going to talk about Alabama and freaking Vanderbilt. It's Vanderbilt. Ain't nothing to preview. There's no way, in no alternate universe, no realm and atmosphere, that Alabama loses to Vandy. You know what? We'll do this. If Alabama loses to Vanderbilt, I'm putting this on record right now, I'll do whatever the top like comment on this video says. It can be anything. I'm talking about anything. I'll do it because there's no way, not a single shot, chance, what do you want to call it, that Alabama loses to Vandy. It's not going to happen, and you can write the craziest comment you want, but it doesn't matter because there's no shot Alabama loses to Vandy. I can't harp on that enough. You got a better chance of going in your garage and finding a golf ball and going to your local golf course tomorrow and hitting a hole-in-one on your first try than Vanderbilt has of beating Alabama. Not going to happen, buddy. Not going to happen. But hey, shout out to the nerds at Vandy for bringing up the SEC's GPA. Greatly appreciated. Many more things I could say. I do want to make this a short, simple, and sweet video. Let me know your thoughts down below about that.